Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we'll be reviewing the second one-day international between West Indies and Sri Lanka. West Indies winning the game. It was a close match. They won by 5 wickets. At one stage, it looked like they were cruising. Sri Lanka fought back, and it went till the last over. A brilliant game of cricket. And yeah, it was West Indies winning the toss, electing to bowl first. They put Sri Lanka in. Sri Lanka were in a spot of bother initially. They lost a couple of early wickets. They lost their captain, and then they were like on 50 for 3. And then Gunathilaka and Chandimal, they strung up a really good partnership, an important partnership. Gunathilaka, very unlucky not to make his 100, 96 of 96, 100 strike rate. He would be gutted, like he probably wanted that 100. But it stabilized the innings. It got Sri Lanka to a competitive score. Chandimal, 71 of 98. Again, with Chandimal, I think, he does well in the tough period. He negotiates the bowling. He makes sure there's a partnership. But then once he's set, he needs to convert. He needs to convert those 70s and 80s to 100s, 120s, because you're the set batsman. You're seeing the ball well. And it's always difficult for the new batsman to come and start scoring. And we saw this in this game as well. After Chandimal got out, they struggled a bit. Sri Lanka, Pereira didn't quite get going. Bandara didn't quite get going. But then De Silva came and batted really well. I think 47 of 31 balls, 4 sixes, 2 fours. He actually got that impetus into the innings and took Sri Lanka from a 250 score to 273. But I think they were probably aiming 300 because once I think Chandimal and Gunathilaka were set, they should have aimed at least 300. But nonetheless, from 50 to 3 to 270, it was a good score from Sri Lanka and a competitive score, something to bowl at for sure. And I think they were just probably missing that big 100 from one of their players to convert. That's it. Otherwise, it was a good batting performance. The top order still needs to improve. Karunaratne, their captain, he's failing, and Fernando. These guys need to pick up as well. Pereira at the back end needs to pick up. So, but there are some good players there, and hopefully in the upcoming games they'll make sure that they convert their starts into big scores. But yeah, after that, West Indies, the openers in a fantastic, scintillating form. Lewis and Hope, another fantastic partnership, 192 runs for the opening stand. And when you're chasing 270, that's the ideal kind of partnership, especially for the opening wicket. Lewis again played his shots very well, rotated the strike. Shai Hope as well. They were both, they both rotated the strike. They weren't conservative, but they were careful. They didn't just try to hit every single ball. And they set the perfect platform. When the loose ball was there, they went for it and they put it away to the boundary. So that kept taking pressure off each other, and they're always in check with that run rate. And once you make 190 for 0, even if you require 8, 9, 10 runs and over, you always favor the batting side, especially in these days. The big hitters, they can do it. And when you have the likes of Pollard, Nicholas Pooran coming in, you're always confident when you're 190 for 0 chasing 270. So I think it was a magnificent opening stand. It was the match-winning stand, but still there was work to do because they both got out in quick succession. Sri Lanka pulled things back really well. The good thing that the Sri Lankan bowlers did was they kept the run rate in check. Even when Lewis and Hope were batting, they could have easily finished the game, probably scored at a higher rate, a faster rate. But I think Sri Lanka bowled well. They got the dot balls in. They didn't let them rotate the strike as much as they would have liked to, and not too many bad balls. So once they picked up these a couple of wickets, they got into the game, and they kept picking up wickets. Like Pollard came, hit a few boundaries, he got out. Darren Bravo came, hit a boundary or so, he got out. But Nicholas Pooran was there till the end, and once as long as he was going to be there, West Indies were going to win. And Fabian Allen came, played a small cameo, a 6 and a 4 in his stay of 15 runs. So there were small contributions, but Sri Lanka needed a bit more wickets, ideally more runs on the board as well to defend. But they could have still won the game. They needed 10 runs off the last over or something like that. But a few full tosses in the end gave Nicholas Pooran the chance to finish off the game, and it was a brilliant innings from him. He stayed till the end. Not his typical, blasting his way through. He was striking at 92.11, so he was very sensible. He knew that when he needed the boundary, he's going to hit it. And you can see when you're chasing under 300, you don't need to go hammer and tongs from ball one. You can still go run a ball and win the game. So that's exactly what Nicholas Pooran did. Mature innings from him, and he's shown that he can play in the 5th, 6th gear as well. So he's he's an outstanding talent for West Indies. They need to nurture him well, and it's good to see him play innings like this. More sensible, more matured. And credit to the West Indies, they win the series now 2-0 going into the third one day. They won the T20 series as well, so it's things are looking good for West Indies cricket. I think credit has to go to Kieran Pollard. He's captained them pretty well. When it comes to bowling changes and just keeping that morale high, lifting that morale. Even team selection has been good from Pollard and the West Indies. So I think things are looking good going into that T20 World Cup towards the end of the year. This was the one day format, but still, you can still see where the team is going. And I think West Indies will be very happy with this series victory. Sri Lanka, on the other hand, they need to improve their batting. I think the bowlers show they can fight, but even then, they need to tighten a few things with the ball. The spinners have done really well on this tour, but fast bowlers will need to be a bit more consistent. Bowl those full tosses a bit less, and batsmen need to convert. The likes of Chandimal, they need to, like, once they get the 50, 60, they need to make it into hundreds. And those guys who are not scoring, they need to get starts as well. So Sri Lanka will need to improve their batting. Their bowling has been decent on this tour, but yeah, the batting needs to improve. But I think apart from that, that sums up the game. It was a brilliant game of cricket going to the last over. Hopefully we see much of the same in the third one day. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and enjoy your day.